Michael heartlessly denies a doctor the chance to reach a patient by booking the last seats on a plane. However, after a series of unlucky events on the flight, his callous choice comes back to haunt him. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video with your friends. Dr. Carter rushed to the airport counter and was happy to see a short line. She needed to catch a flight quickly for a critical case and felt very nervous. When it was her turn, she accidentally dropped her purse and everything inside scattered on the floor. Just as she knelt to collect her things, Michael and Dana, a couple, approached the counter. "I need 2 tickets to Santa Monica, please," Michael said quickly. Luke, the man at the counter, looked worried. "We only have 2 seats left," he said, sharing an edgy look with Dr. Carter. "I need to get on this flight, please. It's an emergency." "I'm a doctor," she said, still picking up her things. Michael didn't want to wait. "The tickets are clearly ours," he insisted, showing his credit card. Dana felt sorry for Dr. Carter. "Maybe we should wait, honey," she suggested to Michael, but Michael disagreed. "We're not changing our plans," he said firmly. Dr. Carter pleaded with him as she rose. "Please, it's about saving a life." Michael turned to face her. "Life's tough. We all have our problems," he said coldly. "Finish the booking," he ordered Luke. Luke finished the booking. As Michael triumphantly took the boarding passes, Dr. Carter's shoulders slumped in defeat. She murmured a quiet thank you to Dana for understanding her plight. As they left, Dr. Carter asked Luke, "Is there any other flight to Santa Monica?" Luke typed rapidly into his computer. "There is. I'll quickly—" "Oh, I'm so sorry, doctor. Someone just booked the last ticket, but I can put you on a standby list," he offered gently. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Meanwhile, Michael and Dana continued their walk to their gate. Dana couldn't help but feel sorry for the doctor. "How can you be so indifferent, Michael?" she asked him. "We can't fix everyone's problems, Dana," he replied dismissively, engrossed in his phone. "We have our plans and we stick to them. That's life." "Sometimes I wonder if you ever think about anyone other than yourself," she said sharply. Right then they bumped into another couple and Michael snapped at them. "Watch where you're going!" The couple apologized profusely and Dana watched, her heart sinking at Michael's lack of empathy. On the flight, Dana couldn't shake off the uneasy feeling that something was about to happen as she noticed a flickering overhead light. "Did you hear that?" she whispered to Michael as a strange whirring sound came from the plane's engine. "It's just normal plane sounds. Relax," Michael said, not looking up from his magazine. Dana was worried. "Our seats are in row 13 and you were rude earlier. Karma might come back to us," she said. "Come on, don't be so superstitious," Michael replied, rolling his eyes. Right then, the plane shook hard. People screamed and a heavy suitcase from the overhead compartment missed Michael's head by just a few inches. "Whoa, that was close," he laughed. Dana was shocked. "You think this is funny? That bag almost hit you." The captain's voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts. We're experiencing some turbulence." Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the plane steadied. The captain's calm and controlled voice announced they had passed the worst turbulence and apologized for the distress. With the turbulence subsided, the cabin settled into a tense silence. Michael flagged down the flight attendant as she passed. "Excuse me, we just had a suitcase almost take my head off. I think some complimentary drinks are in order," he said. "Of course, sir, I'll bring them right away," the flight attendant replied with a forced smile. Dana couldn't believe it. "You're asking for free drinks now?" The attendant returned with 2 martinis. Michael raised his glass. "To surviving the wild ride." He downed his drink in one gulp, then reached for Dana's. "You're not going to drink yours?" Dana, still rattled, shook her head. "No, thanks." Michael shrugged and downed her martini as well, but as he swallowed, his eyes bulged, his face turning a shade of red. He clutched at his throat, gasping for air. The olive from the martini had gone down the wrong way. Dana's instinct kicked in. She stood, placed her arms around Michael's waist, and gave a firm thrust upwards. Passengers watched with concern and curiosity as she repeated the maneuver. With a final, strong push, the olive dislodged from Michael's throat, shooting out of his mouth and bouncing off the seat in front. "Are you okay?" she asked. "Yeah, I'm fine," Michael coughed, asking for another drink without olives. "Michael, you need to be more careful, especially with your heart condition." Michael smirked. "My heart's just fine, Dana. It takes more than an olive to take me down." He leaned back, closing his eyes, the close call seemingly forgotten as quickly as it had come. Around them, the tension in the cabin slowly eased, but Dana's unease lingered. Suddenly, Dana smelled something burning on the plane and told Michael. "Yeah, smells like something's burning," Michael said, not too worried. Dana got scared. "We're on a plane. If something's burning, it's dangerous." Michael didn't take it seriously. "You worry too much." Soon they saw smoke in the cabin. A flight attendant tried to put out the small fire in one of the compartments with an extinguisher. Dana grabbed Michael's arm. "We should help," she said. Michael hesitated but agreed. "Let me try," he told the attendant, taking the extinguisher and putting out the fire. People clapped, and he felt like a hero. "See? All under control," Michael boasted, puffing out his chest. "No need to panic when you have quick thinking." "You did help, but why show off?" Dana whispered to him. Michael didn't understand why Dana wasn't just happy he helped. Later, Dana told Michael about a job offer she got in a different city. "A different city? Why didn't you tell me?" Michael asked, surprised and upset. "I didn't know how to bring it up. And after everything that's happened today, it feels like maybe it's a sign that we're not heading in the same direction," she explained. "Michael, this is a big opportunity for me. You can't leave everything here, especially me." "It's my career, Michael. I need to think about it." "What about our plans together?" "I've always supported you. Why can't you do the same for me?" she asked, feeling hurt. "Because you're saying you want to leave everything we have for a job." "That's not fair, Michael," Dana shot back, her voice shaking. "I'm trying to make a decision for myself for once. Why can't you understand that?" Michael leaned back in his seat, crossing his arms defiantly. "I understand perfectly. You're choosing a job over us, over everything we've built together." "Maybe what we've built isn't strong if it can't handle change," Dana said. "So you're abandoning our relationship?" "I'm not abandoning anything. I'm trying to grow," Dana replied. Michael warned her, "If you take the job, that's the end for us." Dana felt Michael was only thinking of himself. They sat in silence for the rest of the flight. When they were about to land, Dana wanted to talk. "Your behavior during this flight made me realize something, Michael. I need someone who understands me," she started. "Someone who—" "So you're breaking up with me?" Dana sighed. "Yes, I can't do this anymore." For a moment, Michael stood there, stunned. Then he clutched at his chest, his face contorting in pain. "Dana, my heart!" he gasped, his voice strained. Dana's eyes widened in alarm. "Michael, are you okay?" she asked, stepping forward. Suddenly he laughed. "Got you," he said, smirking. "You really think I'd have a heart attack because you broke my heart?" "That's not funny, Michael." Dana, incensed by his callousness, pushed past him, her anger boiling over. "You're unbelievable, Michael," she shouted as she walked down the aisle. As Michael took a few steps to follow her, his expression changed from amusement to alarm. He clutched his chest again, but this time his face contorted in genuine pain. "Dana!" he gasped, stumbling forward, his hand reaching out in desperation. The passengers around them turned in shock as Michael collapsed onto the floor of the aisle, his body convulsing slightly. Dana spun around, her anger replaced with shock and fear. "Michael!" she cried out, rushing back to him. A nearby passenger, who identified himself as a nurse, pushed through the crowd. "He's having tachycardia. We need to get him medical attention immediately." Dana was shocked and worried. As the plane taxied to the gate, paramedics arrived and took Michael to the hospital. At the hospital, Michael's world was a blur of white and sterile lights as he lay on the gurney, being swiftly wheeled through the corridor. Around him, figures in scrubs moved with urgent purpose. "BP's dropping," a nurse said, her voice tinged with concern. "Where's Dr. Carter?" one of the doctors asked, his tone edged with anxiety. Michael's mind, sluggish and disjointed, recognized the name. Dr. Carter. Wasn't that the woman from the airport? "She couldn't make her flight," another voice replied. The doctor who had asked about Dr. Carter looked down at Michael, his expression grave. "We're losing him," he said, his voice cutting through the fog in Michael's mind. Those words sent chills down Michael's spine. Losing him? His thoughts drifted to Dana, to their last conversation, and a wave of regret washed over him. If only he could turn back time, if only he could explain. In the dimly lit hospital room, Dana sat beside Michael's bed, full of fear and regret about their last argument. She touched his cold hand, feeling helpless. "He's holding on, but it's touch and go," a nurse whispered, offering a somber look that did little to assuage Dana's growing fear. Michael woke up, confused and weak. "What happened?" he asked Dana. "You had a heart attack. Dr. Carter saved you," Dana explained. "Dr. Carter." The name took a moment to register in Michael's foggy mind. The doctor from the airport. The realization brought a rush of memories from the flight, the argument, his feigned illness, and then the real gripping pain in his chest. As if on cue, the door opened and Dr. Carter entered. Michael recognized her. You're the one from the airport, he said. Yes, I got here on a charter flight. Lucky for my patient and you too, Dr. Carter replied. Michael felt sorry for his past actions. I'm sorry for how I acted before. You saved my life. Thank you. Dr. Carter smiled. Take better care of yourself. You've got a second chance, she advised. Michael realized he needed to change and appreciated the second chance he was given. As Dr. Carter left, Michael apologized to Dana, crying, I'm so sorry for everything. I've been such a fool. Let's get you better first. We'll talk later, okay? Dana replied, tears gathering in her eyes. I was selfish. I didn't see how I hurt you. Michael, this isn't the time. He looked into her eyes, his gaze earnest and open. No, this is the right time. If you still want to take that job, I'll support you. I want you to be happy, Dana, even if it means we're apart. Dana was surprised. Michael, are you sure? Yes, he replied. Take the job. I want you to be happy. Dana smiled, holding his hand. At that moment, they knew they would find a way to heal and move forward together.